In this brief demonstration, in which we examine yet more reasons to upgrade from FrameMaker 7 to FrameMaker 10, we're going to touch on three similar features. The first one is what I call catalog customization. It's basically your ability to radically change the display of your paragraph or character catalog where your styles are located. We're also going to take a look at a new kind of catalog that did not exist before called the table catalog. And in the middle of our demonstration, we're going to look at, I think, one of the most exciting new features FrameMaker 10 introduced, which is the ability to locate and get rid of format overrides with a variation of search and replace. So let's move into the documents themselves. FrameMaker 10 introduces quite a bit of new power in the area of catalogs. Basically, you have a better set of tools available with a character catalog that you've always had, your paragraph catalog, and actually a new type of catalog we'll be looking at in a moment, the table catalog, which did not exist in this form before. This is actually a new introduction from FrameMaker 10. The first thing you notice on close inspection, if you are an experienced FrameMaker user, is that the paragraph catalog looks different, because you'll notice there is a check mark in front of some of the style names. This is indicating style names that are currently used in the document. As an example, you notice there currently is no style called pull quote. If I go in and select some text, like right here, and select pull quote, notice that pull quote now has a check in front of it letting me know that it is indeed in use somewhere in the document. If I restore that back to body and I refresh the catalog, notice that pull quote is no longer in use. So that's just one of the changes. Another improvement are you have several options that will allow you to display the contents of the catalog differently. For instance, if you have a lot of styles, perhaps they've been brought in from legacy documents or from copying and pasting from Microsoft Word, you might want to only look at your unused formats, your used or unused formats. In this case, we're looking only at formats that have been used, and we can do the exact opposite. We could say we'd like to see only the styles that are currently not in use. Another useful innovation is you can actually say that you'd like to see all of the styles, but you want to have the used styles shown up front. Now, this is a feature that I think will be very important to a lot of FrameMaker 7 users, and that's the ability to actually create a custom catalog list. You can actually show just part of the styles, but more importantly, you can actually put them in any alphabetical order that you want. FrameMaker 7 was, as most of you know, was limited to showing catalog styles in alphabetical order. In other words, alpha would appear before bullet, and also before body, simply because you could only display your styles ABC. As a result of this, with FrameMaker 7, many users got very creative with their style names, and they would sometimes put 0 underscore in front of their most important styles they wanted at the top of their catalog, and they would put Z underscore in front of their least important styles. Let's take one other look quickly to see what we would do if we wanted to have a custom list. Let's say that we have a contractor working on this project and we only want this person to work with certain styles. Basically, this will be very familiar to anybody who's used conditional text control or some other features. It's simply the right and left box that you can shift back and forth. I'm going to move all of my styles over into the Don't Show column. And I'm going to bring over just a few styles that I would like my contractor to work with. Perhaps I'd like them to work with alpha, bullet, chapter. I may also want them to just work with header, pull quote, and section. Now, once I've done this, if I consider certain styles to be more important, for instance, I could actually move chapter up to the top. I might decide that I want section to be right underneath that. And then I may decide that bullet is more important than alpha. And perhaps I want header in front of my two lists. So this would actually allow you to group lists together, etc. Once we've done this and set this, I can say that I'd like to display this, and here is my custom list. So this list can be pulled up when you're doing certain types of editing. So if somebody's going to be doing a lot of list making, for instance, at a glance they can very quickly go from alpha to bullet without looking at all the different styles. If you want, at any point in time, if you want to go back to seeing all of your styles, you can do it with just a simple click. So this is just one quick way that you can control a lot of your catalog work. The next feature that we'll take a look at here in FrameMaker 10 is something that's been long sought after by FrameMaker users, and that's the ability to quickly find and locate styles that do not match the catalog. Basically, they're commonly referred to as format overrides. It's basically a place where somebody has taken the paragraph catalog and done something. In this particular case, the paragraph that I've selected is bold, and it also has increased line spacing. Let's make one other change to it that would make it not match the catalog. Let's change the angle to italic, and I'm clicking on apply. So we now have a bold, italic, stretched out text. If I wanted to restore that to normal, I could simply, knowing that it's wrong, and experienced FrameMaker users may notice the asterisk in front of the name body down on the very lower left corner of the workspace. If I were to click on body, that would restore it to a normal body style. I'm going to go ahead and undo the paragraph formatting because I do want these overrides here. We actually have 3 of them. This paragraph is bold, italic, and somebody has changed it and increased the line spacing. Here's another paragraph, body. So clearly somebody has used the paragraph designer to turn on small caps. And finally, down below it, if we look closely, we can see that this paragraph style, which is also a body paragraph, as displayed right here, is in the wrong font. So we have at least 3 styles that just very obviously jump out at us. However, many times your styles are more difficult, your format overrides are more difficult to find. You may have body text that should be the font Arial, and you may have one paragraph that's Helvetica, which looks almost identical. So let me show you how easy this is to fix with FrameMaker 10. FrameMaker 10 has a new feature, and it's basically a variation of find and change. Besides looking for text, there's a host of things that you can look for in FrameMaker. This sometimes seems a bit intimidating to the new user, but they're quite powerful when you get used to all these many things you can look for. And one of them, which is new, is paragraph format override. Notice as I choose this that what it's going to change it to is a remove override, or basically make the text normal. So if I click on find, it has located my first paragraph, which is wrong, and the one that we know is bold, italic. And if I simply click on change, that actually instantly made the text go back to normal. Let's go ahead and find the next instance. Here it has found the paragraph that is small caps. We'll simply click on change. Actually, I'm going to go change and find. And it's now jumped it down to the paragraph style that has the wrong font, and we'll click on change. And with those 3 clicks, basically, we have restored this entire page to normal. Not only can you look for paragraph format overrides, but you can also look for character format overrides. That would basically be format overrides on the text level, and it also, this is quite powerful, and boy do I wish I had this when I was in the translation industry. You can also search for table format overrides. Sometimes it's normal and accepted to have a format override in tables, but there are times that somebody has just been playing around and changing margins and doing things like that. So basically this is an incredible time saver, and for those of you that are considering upgrading from FrameMaker 7 to 10, this is certainly one feature that is very easy to help derive return on investment. Let's take a look at one more feature. The final feature that we'll take a look at in this demonstration is the new table catalog. FrameMaker 10 has finally introduced a segregated normal catalog for tables, and here it is. If I unfold it, you'll actually see that, lo and behold, here is an actual real catalog with table names in it. Now, for those of you that might be either new to FrameMaker, or those of you that are using older versions, anything before FrameMaker 10, but certainly FrameMaker 7, FrameMaker 7 users will recall that the way you determined what a table was by going into the table designer, and if you were to select the table, it would tell you the name of it. Now, this always mystified people a bit, and frankly it slowed down training. I've trained hundreds if not thousands of people on FrameMaker, and something that was quite confusing to people was that they would find a paragraph style in a catalog, but when they wanted a catalog for tables, they had to go, most of you know, the table designer, which was used to create the table in the first place. And by pulling down this menu, here are the names of all of the tables, and this was the only way to access a table catalog in FrameMaker 7. So in FrameMaker 7 I could click on this and apply it and make it a format A, for instance. Let's go ahead and restore it back to normal to the activities table. We no longer have to do that because now any table styles that have been established can be done with a simple click of the mouse. You simply have to have your insertion point someplace in the table, and we can change this from an activities table to a format A table to a format B table, which is a little bit different. You can see that the lines got thicker, and finally back to an activities table. So this is quite a time saver because it's just so much easier to get to, and also it's far less confusing. Also, final comment for people who worked with complex projects, if you had a lot of tables, this pull down menu would eventually have a scroll bar in it, and frankly would become rather awkward to use. So table catalogs are one more way that we've not only improved the product to make it easier to use, but it also makes it more logical and more sensible for people who are new to FrameMaker. I think all of these features we've shown you in this brief demonstration sum up many reasons to upgrade from FrameMaker 7 to FrameMaker 10.